up guys, welcome to vlog number 9. Today we're gonna play the NAMUR Classic Festival. Normally we play the main event, but due to family priorities I cannot attend to day 2 of the main event, so we are going to play the high roller instead. The buy-in of the high roller is 550 euros, the starting stake is 50,000 and the blinds are going up every 40 minutes. The high roller event is a 2-day tournament. That means that today is day 1 and tomorrow we're gonna play until the last man standing, or in poker the last man sitting in the chair. So I'm ready and I'm super excited. If you guys are too, let's get straight into it.
As the tension mounts and the cards are shuffled, it's time to dive into our very first hand of the satellite tournament, and with our eyes on the 550 euro tickets. So let's not waste any more time and get started. Our first hand, and nothing more beautiful to start with the Royals. We are seated in the undergame position with a stack of 15,900. The blinds are 100-300. Taking advantage of our strong hand, we decide to raise up to 2,000. However, the action escalates quickly as the button goes all in, followed by the small blind and the big blind, all pushing their entire stacks into the pot. Faced with multiple all in, we make the decision to call and put our entire stack on the line as well. The button shows ace-5 offsuit, the small blind pocket queens and the big blind ace-jack offsuit. The community cards showing the following board: the 10 of clubs, 4 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, the turn of the jack of diamond and the 10 spades on the river. The board didn't improve any of the players' hands significantly, leaving our Royals as the best hand at the showdown. As a result, we emerge as the clear winner of the hand, defeating all 3 of them. We are in a cutoff position with a stack of 48,500. The action starts with a hijack raising 5,000, and with an ace queen in our hands, we decide to go all in. Putting all our chips in the middle, the small blind and the big blind make fold, but the hijacks makes the call. The showdown reveals that he picked up ladies. We are facing the tough situation as we are dominated. We do cover him though, so let's go to the flop. The flop came 3 of diamonds, 10 of hearts and 9 of spades. The turn card is the deuce of clubs and the river card is the 8 of spades. Unfortunately, the board didn't bring any help for us and the pocket queens held strong. As a result, we lost the hand and 11,500 from our stack. After the big loss, we see that the undergame +1 open shoves all in for 9,000. With a strong starting hand like ace-jack suited, we make the call. The rest falls and it becomes a heads-up showdown. This time the opponent has the Royals and we are facing a challenging situation as we are up against a higher pocket pair. As the community cards reveals the flop as queen 8 queen rainbow, the turn follows with the 6 of diamonds and the river card as the 7 of spades. Unfortunately, the board didn't bring any help for us and the pocket kings held strong. Things are not going great at the moment, but we still have some chips and a chance to grab one of the 6 tickets. So we did grind our way up to 90,000 by stealing small pots and blinds. We are getting close to the prize pool and a ticket for the high roller event for 550 euros. We are at the button and we pick up pocket aces, guys. With the small blinds at 3,000, 6,000, big blind ante of 6,000, we decide to go all in since there's a lot of that money to grab. The small blind falls, but the big blind calls our last chips with queen 7 of suit. The flop comes down as 6 of hearts, queen of clubs and jack of clubs, providing big blind player with a pair of queens. The turn card is a 10 of hearts and the river card is a deuce of hearts. As a result, our pocket aces holds. Next to winning the pot, we also managed to win a ticket to the high roller event for 550 euros. We already saved ourselves 470 euros to play the high roller. Let's dive straight into the high roller event and hopefully we'll do a good job as well. So the starting stack is 50,000 and blinds go up every 40 minutes. With a stack of 53,000 at the moment, we are dealt ace king of diamonds. We raised up to 1.5. The mid position player calls our raise, as does the button. The small blind folds though, and the big blind, he decides to make a significant re-raise to 8,500. Faced with a big re-raise of the big blind player, we confidently respond with a 3-bet to 22,000. Our strong play and a 3-bet were enough to convince all our opponents to fold their hands, leading to winning the pot of 12,200 uncontested. Well-timed aggression with a premium starting hand like Ace-King allows us to take control of the pot and force our opponents to fold. By making a strategic re-raise, we demonstrated confidence in our hand and effectively discouraged further action from our opponents. We pick up Ace Queen of Hearts in the undergun position with 76,000 in front of us. We open with a raise to 1.7, the mid position and the hijack player both call, the small blind folds, the big blind also calls, resulting in a 4-way pot. The flop comes as 9-3-9 rainbow, the big blind checks, and we decide to make a c-bet of 5,500 since we have 2 overcards and a backdoor flush draw. The mid position player falls, but the hijack calls our bet, followed by the big blind folding his hand, leading to a heads up situation. The turn is a 5 of hearts. At this point we choose a check back, allowing our opponent to take the initiative. The hijack then made a bet of 6,600 and we don't want to give up yet, decide to call his bet. The river card brings a total break, the 4 of spades is no help for us. With no improvement to our hand, we check once again and basically giving up. Maybe a fold on the turn was the right play, but the hijack player takes advantage of the opportunity and places a bet of 10,400. Faced with this significant bet on the river, we decide to fold our hand. Unfortunately, the board didn't favor our hand, resulting in a loss of 13,800. After the chunk of chips vanishing from our stack, we are going to try to win some back. We still have an average stack and dealt pocket 4s. The hijack limps and we decide to follow as did the big blind, resulting in a 3-way pot. The pot stood at 3.6 as the dealer reveals the flop, king of hearts, 4 of clubs and 4 of diamonds. Yes guys, your eyes are not lying, we flopped 4 of a kind. The key is now to get as much as possible in the middle. We are hoping that somebody will put some chips in and so we can call. However, it's checked around and we go to the turn. The turn card is the ace of diamonds, the big blind checks and the hijack player also checks. With our strong hand, it's time to put some money in. We make a bet of 1,000, the big blind falls but the hijack makes the call. We are heads up with 5.6 in the middle. The river card is the 7 of diamonds, the hijack player checks once again and we are going to extract more value from our hand. We make a bet of 3,500 and the hijack player makes the call. As a result, we won the hand and a decent pot of 12,600. Well played hands like this demonstrate the ability to capitalize on strong hands and extract the most value from your opponents. With 70,000 in our arsenal, which is way above the average stack, the action begins with the player in the mid position raising to 2.3. With 4 or 5 of clubs in the cutoff, we decide to call. As did the button, the small blind folds though, but the big blind also calls, resulting in a 4-way pot. The pot is 10,700 as the dealer revealing the flop as 6-10 deuce rainbow. With an open-ended straight throw, we decide to check along with the big blind, mid position and the button. The turn brought the 6 of clubs, giving us a flush draw to go along with our straight throw. The big blind takes the initiative and makes a bet of 3,000. The mid position calls the bet and we decide to call as well, but the button gives up and fold. The pot now stands at 19,700. The river card is a deuce of clubs completing our flush. The big blind continued with a bet of 5,000. The mid position player falls and with our strong hand thinking if it is wise to make a re-raise, but because of the tricky board we choose to call. He showed 8-9 of diamonds for a missed gut shot, so we won the hand and a big pot of 30,000. This hand illustrates the importance of playing draws carefully and knowing when to call or fold based on the pot odds and the strength of your hand combined with the board texture. The cutoff raising to 3.5 opens the play for this hand. With queen 9 of hearts in our hand, we call and hope to see a flop. The small blind and the big blind lets it go, leaving us heads up with 11,000 in the middle to grab. The flop comes as 8, 9, 10 rainbow, giving us mid pair with a straight throw. The cutoff C bet 7,000 and we are going to make the call since we have a decent hand and a draw. The turn is a 3 of clubs. With our pair and straight draw still intact, the cutoff bets another 7,000. We make the call once again, maintaining a pot size of 39,000. The river card is a 10 of hearts, completing 2 pair on the board. The cutoff makes a final bet of 11,000. We get 5 to 1 to call, and since we had a strong drawing hand on the flop with a pair, our decision to call on the flop and the turn is reasonable given the potential of hitting or straight. And the second 10 on the river makes it more unlikely that he is going to have a 10 in his hand. It's tricky of course, but at the end we make the call and see the bad news. Unfortunately, our hand is beaten by his king 10 of diamond. In poker there will be situations where the community cards do not cooperate and you may face better hands. It's important to make informed decisions based on the available information and adjust your strategy accordingly by continuing to make calculated plays and recognizing when to call or fold. This way you can minimize your potential losses and maximize your chances of success in the long run. The blinds are going up and our stack is going down, and that's never a good sign. The action begins with the undergun limping for 2,000. In this hand we are in the mid position and get king queen of suit. We're going to try to reduce the field and try to take over the position by raising to 6.5. The small blind and the big blind fold, so we get the position, but the undergun calls a raise, resulting in a pot of 16,000. The undergun checks in the dark. The flop is queen 9-9 rainbow, giving us top pair with a very good kicker. So we make a C bet of 11,000. The undergun calls once again and we go to the turn. The turn is a 5 of spades. The undergun checks again. We can check back to pot control or price all the draws by betting. We choose for the second option and decide to bet 15,000. Unexpectedly, the undergun responds with an all-in, putting us in a tough spot. After considering our options, we ultimately choose to fold. The undergun reveals one card and shows the 9 of spades. He flopped 3 of a kind. I think if he checked back on the turn, the undergun was definitely going to make a bet on the river, and I think I would call that as well, so the outcome wouldn't be much different for us. As a result, we lost a hand and almost 50% of our stack. By folding when necessary, we are still alive and kicking. We are crippled and trying to survive and double up at least 1 or 2 at a time. In this hand, we are dealt ace of clubs, 7 of diamonds, and we decide to go all in with our remaining chips. Our opponent calls and we go 3-way all in. We are against 6-5 of suit and jack 10 of diamonds. We are ahead and have a chance to triple up.
10. Ouah, ça vaut rien. Non. Ah, fallait. Attention, hein.
The flop comes as 7 of spades, 6 of clubs and jack of spades. The board gave us a pair of 7, but he gets connected with a pair of jacks as well. So we need some luck now at the following cards. The turn is the 4 of clubs, bringing no significant improvement to his hand. The other player picked up some extra out.
Een achtje. Een acht. No. Jack. 8. Yes.
The river card is the 8 of hearts, which gave the 6-5 of suit the straight to win the pot. As a result, we lost the hand and we are eliminated from the tournament.
So, as the final cards were dealt, our tournament came to an end. We started strong, building up a promising stack, showing our skills. However, the unforgiving nature of this game and a couple of mistakes at the closing stage ultimately ends the race for us. But hey, in the world of poker, sometimes the chips don't fall your way. Despite the setback, we are leaving with the valuable lessons learned and a reminder that every hand is a new opportunity to improve and evolve. So poker fans, remember that every session at the table is a chance to grow and refine your game. We'll be back for more action, more challenges and more opportunities to chase our poker dreams. Until then, keep grinding, keep learning and especially keep those cards in your favor. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Royal Kaya is signing off and we'll see you at the next thrilling chapter of our journey.